All right, so we're back at the project lawn. Yeah. I don't know if we can even call it that yet.
No, nice.
We're back at the project, and the dirt hole. We're just gonna kind of talk about what the plan is for the next few days. Everything is gonna happen really fast.
Yeah.
You guys have only been in here a week. You're already working hard and knocking this out.
Gotta have grass, man.
Gotta have
grass.
Have
a lawn.
And especially in the front, at least in the front,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
The front is the main stage, and we gotta show off.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Yeah. Yesterday.
Yesterday,
yeah.
Exactly. So we're gonna take you around the front yard, kind of talk about what we're looking for just to make sure we get everything right, talk about what the plan is for the future, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna go and take a little tour around the front yard, and I just want to point out some things that both you and I have found that could potentially cause issues later on down the road, that now is a good time to take care of it.
For sure.
And I think that will really help everybody watching that is in a similar situation as you, where they're putting in their yard, and they can look out for as well. So let's take a quick trip around the yard and just identify a couple of things that have caused problems for me in my yard, where I had to fix it after the fact, and things that we've found here that is kind of unique to your own situation. Yep. So what we're going to do is start right here by the driveway, and what we've got going on down here, obviously when they pave the driveway, they form it up with 2x4 and rebar and all that, but whenever they pour, it gets underneath that form, and we get some, what do you want to call that, surplus?
It's
excess concrete. This will inhibit your root growth, and later on down the road, if you don't take care of this now, you're going to have yellow spots around the driveway, and even though you're watering it more, it's not going to change much. Yeah, and that's your culprit right there. So we have several instances of this, mainly around the driveway. Yeah. It's not horrible. There's a little bit up here by the walk up to the front door. But obviously he's prepared, he's ready to go. He's picking it out. We may have to get you a pry bar or something heavier. But we'll get that out of there and he'll be good to go. All right, then again, working our way through the yard here. As I said before, this is normal soil conditions for this area. It's very hard, clay, rock infested soil. Right. And not only are you going to have to deal with rocks here and clear out as much as you can, I mean, you don't have to really be picky, but we're also finding concrete leftovers, masonry leftovers, all kinds of goodies.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to find in here, honestly. I mean, it's really, like you said, a treasure trove.
Yeah.
So definitely clear this out as much as you can before the topsoil comes. Topsoil's coming in 2 days, 3 days?
2 days.
So we got to get busy.
That's right.
Okay, we're on the far end of the yard here now, and this is really very unique to this neighborhood and this situation, the way that the developer put all this together. I have no idea, honestly, why they decided to do it this way, but in a case like this, you got to kind of just work with what you got. And what I'm getting at is the next door neighbor is elevated above them. And the same is true on the other side of the house. You're elevated above your next door neighbor, and everything kind of tiers down. And they're supported obviously by retaining walls. But the problem is your neighbor installed this, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago maybe.
So as you can see, when they water their lawn, everything runs off of these rocks on the retaining wall and works its way down here and runs all the way out down towards where that weed pile is. So this is a pretty serious issue here that needs to be dealt with. Luckily, you're going to be digging anyway.
Yeah, gotta trench all this.
Gotta trench everything out for sprinklers. And so the plan and the idea is to go ahead and just put a French drain in here just along the retaining wall. That way any water that comes over here is going to get taken through that French drain system and sent out down towards the street. So what I've suggested to Jimmy here is to come over here. He's got 2 downspouts, and this one here can come up and pop up into the grass, no problem. But he's got another downspout coming off the side of the house right here. So what I've recommended doing is taking this downspout and dropping it into, oh, truck. What is that? He is shooting something into the air. What is this? She's from the HOA. That's cute. Do you think that's for mosquitoes?
That was my first thought, is mosquitoes and mayflies.
Okay.
I don't know what, I've never seen that.
There's a first for everything.
In my entire week living here.
There's a first for everything. So I've recommended taking this downspout and bringing it into a catch basin, and we'll have a catch basin here, which will then tie into the French drain. So pretty easy. He's going to be digging anyway. So he's going to dig himself an area for a catch basin. I'd probably go with a 6x6 square catch basin there. And then you can run into that with that guy and then run out of it with the French drain. And that will pick up the groundwater and get it out of the way, and that will prevent this whole area from being just a mush pit. Yeah. And nobody wants that. Like I said, this is a unique situation. Not everybody's going to deal with stuff like that, but the point is to walk the area and think about stuff like that. What could potentially happen here? What could potentially go wrong? And then you can get ahead of it while you don't have to dig up grass after the fact.
And before they put that in, I mean, before they had their sod in, we would have never thought of that.
True,
I mean, we
true.
walked by it,
because they never would have watered and you never would have saw this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was good of you to kind of play detective there and,
luckily,
figure that out early.
Luckily they got the sod in right before we got our seeds out. Otherwise we'd be fixing this problem later.
Yeah, and that would be bad. So he's gonna get sprinklers in. He located the main supply today. He's got secondary water from the city. And so he kind of went off of what his neighbors did. First found the meters.
Yeah.
So here's the meters down here. This one on this side is for the neighbors.
Yep.
And then this one here is yours.
Yep.
So it's metered secondary water. I'm sorry, that sucks for you. I don't have metered secondary water at my house, which is awesome.
I know.
But as you can see, the neighbors go straight in, and then it goes into the filter, and then there's a shut-off valve right there, and then it goes up to wherever their box is. So he's gonna do the same thing, but kind of walk through what you had to do today to kind of find where this came into your yard.
For sure. So we're a few feet into the neighbor's property, and so I sent them a message, said, hey, do you happen to know which box is yours and which is mine? Because the builder was like, yeah, I think this one's yours. And I'm like, okay, well, do you think, or are you sure?
Do you think, or do you know?
Got in here, kind of figured out, saw which way the pipes went, figured that's got to be mine. They actually had, right here, once I got in here and started digging around, they've actually got the house number right there. So I was like, great, that's ours. And you can just kind of see it comes up and then it hangs right into this box. This is where the shutoff is. It's a little box for now. We're gonna have to expand it. And then I could see that it went out. So I'm like, okay, well, I've got a shutoff and I've got nothing else. So how do I hook into the rest of this? And I wasn't sure quite how far it would go. It doesn't even go to the property line, but it comes out of the box here a little bit. So I just dug it out, found the end, it's capped off. So no big deal. That's where we can tie in and we can run to wherever and kind of manage things from there. But yeah, it was a fun little process playing hide and go seek with the sprinkler situation. So
truck. So that's the next step for him, is he's gonna get that filter on there, put a bigger box in there to house that, and then from there you get to decide where your valve box is gonna go and then run the sprinkler line, and then bam 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 right after that, topsoil, sod, we're jamming. So I think that's gonna go ahead and wrap things up for this one, And next time we come over, we might see some sprinklers, or you might have already buried them back in the ground, and we can go over what you did.
Cool.
And then we'll have topsoil and sod. It's gonna come together real fast. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, see how this progresses and comes together. It should be a lot of fun. So thank you again for watching. We'll see you in the next video.